So, let me then give you a brief idea about. We studied about menstrual phases, isn't it? And we studied about oogenesis. So, the 7 stages of menstruation as well as the process of oogenesis was discussed by me yesterday. Okay. So, let's start today's discussion. So, basically, today we will talk about fertilization. And I will elaborate more on the difference between fertilization and syngamy. So, do you think fertilization and syngamy, these two are two different words or same word? What do you think? Beta? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the difference between fertilization and syngamy? Have you ever heard about this word syngamy?
No, ma'am.
So let us first understand, because this is the word you are learning first time. Syngamy. So fertilization.
Ma'am, does it mean fusion of two cells?
But like it is meaning fusion of, its meaning is fusion of two cells. Here, very correct, beta. But normally, fertilization, if anyone asks you what is fertilization, people answer that it is fusion of male and female gamete, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So then what is the difference? So basically, fertilization involves all processes from insemination of sperms into female vagina to fusion of gamete. It will be having everything related to that, from insemination to the what I can say, to the male gamete fusion. Everything will be there in this. Okay, everything will be included as a part of fertilization. But syngamy means, what do we mean by syngamy? Syngamy means it is just the fusion of male and female gamete. So if anyone asks you, you can speak that syngamy is a part of fertilization. Understood, beta? Syngamy can be called as a part of fertilization. Fertilization procedure includes everything. Insemination. What do we mean by this word insemination? Have you ever heard about this word insemination?
Injection.
So insemination means injection of semen in female reproductive part. Naturally, the copulatory organ. See, these are the words. We use the word called intercourse. We use the word copulation. We use the word insemination. All of them are meaning that insertion of penis into vagina and flushing out of the sperm. Okay. So these are different terminologies. So I guess the difference between fertilization and syngamy is clear to everyone. Can we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Anna, we can go ahead. So with this, let us. So today we are going to study fertilization, not only syngamy. We will talk about the fertilization. So if we go for fertilization process, what are the events that is taking place? First thing is sperms injected into sperms suspended into semen injected into vagina. Okay, so whatever sperms, they are already suspended into semen and they are injected into vagina. Now, what are the barriers these sperms need to face? First barrier they need to cover up is the pH, that is pH of vagina, which is very acidic. Okay. Second is long path from vagina to fallopian tubule, or we can call fallopian tubule is having another name. Can anyone tell me? I told you the name. Can anyone tell me another name of fallopian tubule? It's called oviduct, isn't it? Its another name is oviduct. Okay. Now, after this, what is the next event? Now, before going here, I would like to talk about the structure of egg. See, unlike sperm, egg is not having similar structure, because obviously we can understand the female egg is not motile. It doesn't have to go anywhere. Obviously, it needs to move. अब आप question करोगे कि मैम egg is produced where? Where egg is produced? At which part of female reproductive system has the egg? We are born with eggs at which part?
Ovary.
Ovary. So, but it needs to travel to fallopian tubule ampulla isthmic region. है ना? So, how do you think is the it's traveling?
Maybe due to ciliated epithelium present in oviduct.
Yes, obviously there is the way, see, there is a movement which is very, very important, which is very, very, very important in terms of movement of egg as well as movement of sperm. Okay, this is called peristaltic movement. Okay, so peristaltic movement is something which is carrying a very, very important role. Here it is followed by the moment the egg is released by the ovary, immediately due to movement, slowly and gradually it will go to the ampulla isthmic region of the fallopian tube. Now, as I said, it doesn't have any flagella or anything, but its structure in yours itself is very, very unique. Let us have a look into the structure of female ovum or ovum, that is female gamete. Okay. Is the screen visible, beta?
Yes,
I think we need to enlarge it a bit so that you can have a clear picture, isn't it? Is it clear now? Is the picture better now?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us know about different parts of female gamete, that is egg. Okay. So you can see, if you consider that this is the structure of female egg, you can see as compared with the main part. What is the main part present? Secondary oocyte, isn't it? This is the main part, and this is such small is the polar body. Polar body remains there. Okay. So inside the main cell, what are the parts that is present? This is the haploid nucleus, as it is mentioned here. Here it is having N chromosome, that is one pair of chromosome. Okay. Apart from that, the cell is having mitochondria, because any kind of cell for survival, they require some amount of energy. So it is there. Apart from that, here these are like some granules present there in the cell. They are having a very, very important what I can say role. What they do is they release certain enzymes during fertilization, like which is preventing sperm to enter into the egg. How it is doing so? It is actually, you can see that there is a layer present here. This whole white region is called zona pellucida. This whole white region. Okay, it is called zona pellucida. This zona pellucida is getting hard in presence. Whenever the sperms are touching this layer, these enzymes are making sure that zona pellucida is hard. And sperms are binding to zona pellucida via some kind of, what I can say, via some kind of sperm binding protein. So in zona pellucida, there are on surface some sperm binding proteins are there. Sperms bind through that. Now, while fertilization, it is very important to make sure that one egg or ovum should meet one sperm. Isn't it? Yes or no? What do you feel? What will happen if one egg is fused with two sperms? Do you think normal human being can be produced by that method? What to say? Deesh was absent yesterday. What happened, Deesh? Good evening, beta.
Then actually I was not.
You people, all of you, take care. Corona is at very high rate, and in first wave, people of your age was not that much affected. This time, every day I hear like even students of your age is getting affected every day. So you should be feeling fortunate that you are like getting your lectures at home every day without getting in touch with the corona. Like, even you will not believe, 2-week-old child to 2 years old child. I'm practically saying, like many of my teachers, their offsprings are even getting affected by this. So all of them are getting affected. It's like really horrible situation. So all of you take care. As much as possible, avoid going out. Okay, let's continue. Come back to the topic we were discussing. What do you think? Do you think 3N is good? Kashish, Kaushav, Mahi? Siddhant?
No, ma'am.
So then what will happen? If it is like Priyanshi, if it is n plus n plus m? What do you think may be the effect? See, I must say we are human being because we are 2n. If we would have been 4n or 2n plus 3, then our genotype is changed. Okay, so there should be some mechanism present during fertilization to ensure that even if 100 sperms are attacking egg from different sides, even if 100 sperms are attacking eggs from different sides, it should be ensured by a means that once one sperm is entering and injecting its DNA inside, there should not be any further entry of the next sperm. ये कोई मैकेनिज्म ऐसा होना चाहिए जिससे ये 100% श्योर हो जाए कि अगर एक स्पर्म किसी वजह से अंदर जाके अपना डीएनए अंदर डाल रहा है, immediately there should not be entry of other sperms, it should be protected. क्योंकि ये वाली सिचुएशन हमें नहीं चाहिए. We want only ideally this situation. Okay, so
तो
that
twins
is,
कैसे
yes beta,
होते हैं? Twins कैसे होते हैं? तो
yes beta,
twins कैसे होंगे?
twins कैसे होते हैं? हाँ, I will come to it. Wait, first let us understand. I will then tell you about the twins and all. है ना? Very interesting question. Keep it in your mind. I will talk. What are the types of twin also? That is also we are going to do. So this granules, their specialty is they secrete an enzyme. The moment one sperm is in touch with the zona pellucida and injected DNA, it will secrete some enzyme. It will get the signal and secrete some enzyme, which will do what? Which will first of all harden the layer of zona pellucida. So if zona pellucida layer is hard, that means no further sperm can enter. But what about the sperms which are already attached to this layer via sperm binding protein? It not only hardens the layer zona pellucida, ये जो sperm binding protein है, it actually or basically dissolve this sperm binding protein. So what happens is sperms are no more connected with the zona pellucida. So obviously they cannot enter further. So that's why this word is used, that it prevents polyspermy. Poly means many and spermy means sperm. So obviously prevent polyspermy means it prevents the entry of more than one sperm. Okay, clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us talk about the other layer. Other than zona pellucida, there is another layer that is actually called corona radiata. Why this word radiata is mentioned here? Because as you can see, this whole layer is actually having what I can say, radiation-like appearance. Iski appearance, if you have a close look into it, it's looking like a sun due to presence of these outgrowths. These outgrowths are making it look like a sun. That's why it is known as corona radiata. This corona radiata layer is very, very important also because it is the first layer of protection to the egg, that is ovum. Okay, so I will tell you how this corona radiata layer changed to make sure that most of the sperms can stay outside and it cannot touch the zona pellucida layer. I will show you the video. Okay, and follicular cells are there here, like cells which are carrying liquid. These like blue parts are the nucleus of the follicular cell. So this is what is the basic structure of human egg. Is this clear to all of you? I want all
Yes,
of you
ma'am.
to pay attention, because in your textbook, no such image is present, and no such clear description is missing in that NCERT book, beta. That is very unfortunate. उन्होंने सिर्फ ये terms use किए, पता नहीं कहाँ से, but it should be mentioned in that book, which is missing. I guess it is more clear to you. Now let us today we can have a look into the further process of fertilization. So we were discussing about what are the procedures of what I can say, what are the procedures of fertilization. So from vagina to fallopian tubule, consider sperms reach to fallopian tubule. Now they need to face further the corona radiata, and then zona pellucida. See, I told you there is presence of acrosome cap. There is presence of acrosome cap. On sperm. Okay, these are specialized cap. They secrete an enzyme called hyaluronidase. This hyaluronidase helps in creation of what I can say, a pore into the layer of zona pellucida, and through that pore the DNA is injected into the female ovum. Okay, we need to understand one thing very clearly, that obviously hyaluronidase is an enzyme to create a pore, but other parts of sperms are not truly getting entered into the ovum. Sperm's role is to only contribute the DNA to the child. Obviously, the child is born with the blood and flesh of mother. Even the cytoplasm and other things are from mother. That's why, have you heard ever about cytoplasmic inheritance? Have you ever heard about the word cytoplasmic inheritance?
No, ma'am.
Acha, chalo. Let me ask you one question. Do you think in cytoplasm we have DNA somewhere? हमारे cytoplasm या cell में other than nucleus anywhere do we have DNA piece anywhere?
Ma'am, mitochondria.
And mitochondria. And in case of plant, chloroplast also, isn't it? So what happens, beta? Sometimes these like DNA of mitochondria and chloroplast have some kind of characteristics which is unique. And consider a child is born with the what I can say, always with the cytoplasm of mother. So father ke cytoplasmic characters will never be transmitted to the child. This type of inheritance is called cytoplasmic inheritance, where some extra characters are inherited from cytoplasm only, not from anywhere. Clear to everyone?
Yes,
So all of us are produced by the using the cytoplasm of mother only. Father doesn't have any role in contributing mitochondria or cytoplasm or any other part in our body. Okay. So are we ready to see the video of fertilization?
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? So let us have a look. In between, I can stop sharing and I can give you some brief detail. I request to all of you, sometimes you may be wondering कि मैम आप इतने सारे videos क्यों बताते हो? But my idea is when we listen and see in the form of writing, we may remember or not may remember. But when we see it in the form of visualization, it is very, very important for us to, easy for us to understand and remember it. I will confirm after sharing the screen if it is visible to you or not. Let me adjust the quality is high only. So is the screen
Fertilization is the epic story of a single
sound audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo, let's have a look. Let's see the journey of sperm to the ovum.
sperm facing incredible odds to unite with an egg and form a new human life. It is the story of all of us. During sexual intercourse, about 300 million sperm enter the vagina. Soon afterward, millions of them will either flow out of the vagina or die in its acidic environment. However, many survive because of the protective elements provided in the fluid surrounding them. Next, the sperm must pass through the cervix, an opening into the uterus. Usually, it remains tightly closed, but here the cervix is open for a few days while the woman ovulates. The sperm swim through the cervical mucus, which is thinned to a more watery consistency for easier passage. Once inside the cervix, the sperm continues swimming toward the uterus, though millions will die trying to make it through the mucus. Some sperm remain behind, caught in the folds of the cervix, but they may later continue the journey as a backup to the first group. Inside the uterus, muscular uterine contractions assist the sperm on their journey toward the egg. However, resident cells from the woman's immune system, mistaking the sperm for foreign invaders, destroy thousands more. Next, half the sperm head for the empty fallopian tube, while the other half swim toward the tube containing the unfertilized egg. Now, only a few thousand remain. Inside the fallopian tube, tiny cilia push the egg toward the uterus. To continue, the sperm must surge against this motion to reach the egg. Some sperm get trapped in the cilia and die. During this part of the journey, chemicals in the reproductive tract cause the membranes covering the heads of the sperm to change. As a result, the sperm become hyperactive, swimming harder and faster toward their destination. At long last, the sperm reach the egg. Only a few dozen of the original 300 million sperm remain. The egg is covered with a layer of cells called the corona radiata. The sperm must push through this layer to reach the outer layer of the egg, the zona pellucida. When sperm reach the zona pellucida, they attach to specialized sperm receptors on the surface, which triggers their acrosomes to release digestive enzymes, enabling the sperm to burrow into the layer. Inside the zona pellucida is a narrow, fluid-filled space just outside the egg cell membrane. The first sperm to make contact will fertilize the egg. After a perilous journey and against incredible odds, a single sperm attaches to the egg cell membrane. Within a few minutes, their outer membranes fuse and the egg pulls the sperm inside. This event causes changes in the egg membrane that prevent other sperm from attaching to it. Next, the egg releases chemicals that push other sperm away from the egg and create an impenetrable fertilization membrane. As the reaction spreads outward, the zona pellucida hardens, trapping any sperm unlucky enough to be caught inside. Outside the egg, sperm are no longer able to attach to the zona pellucida. Meanwhile, inside the egg, the tightly packed male genetic material spreads out. A new membrane forms around the genetic material, creating the male pronucleus. Inside, the genetic material reforms into 23 chromosomes. The female genetic material, awakened by the fusion of the sperm with the egg, finishes dividing, resulting in the female pronucleus, which also contains 23 chromosomes. As the male and female pronuclei form, spiderweb-like threads, called microtubules, pull them toward each other. The two sets of chromosomes join together, completing the process of fertilization. At this moment, a unique genetic code arises, instantly determining gender, hair color, eye color, and hundreds of other characteristics. This new single cell, the zygote, is the beginning of a new human being. And now the cilia in the fallopian tube gently sweep the zygote toward the uterus, where he or she will implant in the rich uterine lining, growing and maturing for the next 9 months until ready for birth.
How was the video? Class?
Good. Too good.
It is like, that's why I wanted you to take to that part where you can see it, and now it will be recorded as usual, and you can repeat and see it, and you will never forget the events of fertilization. Never ever, isn't it? So let's move ahead further. We already
Ma'am?
talked about, yes beta.
Ma'am, I want to ask that in the starting of the video, it tells us that the cervix of the woman that is tightly closed. But I mean like it tells that the cervix of the woman is tightly closed, but when woman ovulates, it is loosened. Like I don't understand that.
Actually, let me draw the diagram and you will be able to understand.
Okay, ma'am.
What happens is, see, consider this is the structure of our reproductive system, isn't it? Female reproductive system. Very roughly I am drawing just to give you an idea. So here is the ovule. Now, see, I told you that ovulation is related to various kind of secretions of hormones too, isn't it? So when a lady is ovulating, that means ovum is released and it is waiting here. At that time, certain level of hormones, especially the level of estrogen is very high. So what happens is, this entry point, in general situation, if the gap between the gap in the entry point of uterus is this much thin and it is very stringent, okay, what will happen is at the when there is ovulation, the gap widens. It is allowing and making it sure that maximum amount of sperms are getting inside. Because uterus is nothing but a muscular sac, no beta. So its muscle present in it can get excited with the effect of hormones only. So hormones make sure that during the period of ovulation, the cervix, which is the entry point of uterus, is a bit wide, and when ovulation is not required and it's not required for the entry of sperm, at that time cervix can be not that much wider. Understood?
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay, ma'am. So there is a time of there is a particular time of ovulation.
There is a particular time of ovulation. If you can remember, yesterday when I was teaching you people the menstrual cycle, I told you, if you consider the menstruation is starting on the first day, consider 1st April menstruation of a lady is starting. That means 14th April will be the day of ovulation, sorry. Because 1 to 5th April ideally will be for menstruation. From 6th to 13th will be the date of that is proliferative phase. Proliferative phase means now during this period, actually the egg cell will, what I can say, it will grow. That means we know that they are present in the form of primary follicle. They need to be converted into secondary follicle and finally to Graafian follicle. That development and the development of uterine wall is occurring from this 6 to 13. Okay. And on 14th April, finally, the ovulation starts. So obviously it is very important. These dates we need to remember. We need to remember because in next chapter, when we will talk about the procedure of contraception, at that time we can mention okay, what are the safe dates. Consider ye 6 to 13 may say, obviously I am mentioning one day here, beta 14. You can count it as 13 to 15 because hormonal balance is always not so accurate. Because ये भी किसी का 1 to 5 के जगह पे 1 to 2 days में भी menstruation होता है. It may last up to 3 days. It may last up to 4 days. So basically, after stopping menstruation, approximately 10 to 11 days, the ovulation starts. Okay. Before ovulation, it is the safe period. That means from 16 to approximately 10 days, जो होता है menstruation का, that is the safe period. Because by this time, no ovule is present in the fallopian tubule. So even if sperms are injected into the vagina, there will be no formation of zygote. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else, anyone?
No, ma'am.
So can we move ahead towards the developmental stages? है ना? We will first do the same. We will first study the stages of development, beta. And then what we will do is we will see the video so that you know the basic idea. It will be very easy for you to understand it. Okay. So after fertilization, what we are having? We are starting with the zygote, isn't it? And zygote is now 2N. How many cells are there in zygote? Beta? How many cells are there in zygote? Very easy question I am asking to you people.
46.
2.
Bolo.
Ma'am, 2 cells.
2 cells, where from, beta? Zygote is always unicellular, isn't it? It is always unicellular. It will be always unicellular. Okay. So zygote will be always unicellular, single cell. Now, the moment it is converted into 2 cell or 4 cell, we cannot call it zygote. Its name will be changed into what? Its name will be changed into embryo. So, what are the divisions that is taking place? Division that takes place here is mitosis. Okay. So, basically, it will be converted into embryo. Clear? Now, let me tell you that after the formation of embryo, after some time the parts of embryos are visible, like you can distinguish the hand and development of leg. At that time you don't more call it embryo, you will call it fetus. Okay, and finally when there is parturition, there will be child. So you need to be really wise, beta, while choosing these names, like what are the terminologies you are using. Understood? You need to look into the stage at which you are choosing am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So we consider, depending on the stage, we consider the names of the same thing. Zygote, it is single cellular, embryo is multicellular, and then fetus and then child. Now, apart from mitosis, cell division, which will multiply the cells, another important event that takes place is differentiation. Can anyone tell me what is differentiation? I think earlier we talked about it, isn't it? What is the process of differentiation? बोलो बेटा.
A cell changes from one cell type to another.
So like production of from one cell, production of many types of cells. Many types, not number. The increase in number is contributed by mitosis. Increase in number is contributed by mitosis. Differentiation actually contributes to increase in types of cell. Understood? Both are required. Because you can say zygote is single cell, isn't it? Single cell will have only one type of cell. If you are having other types of cell also, that means what? From where they are coming? That is the procedure which is occurring. But let me once again remind you, as we are unipotent organism, ये से जो differentiation process है, this is unidirectional ना. This can go only in this direction. ये वापस नहीं जा सकता है. In case of plant, they are pluripotent. तो उनकी differentiated cell, undifferentiated callus बना के फिर से differentiate हो सकता है. But we don't have the backward path for the development. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Now, so we will see these stages. ये embryo कितने दिनों में होता है, कब उसको fetus बोलेंगे, all these we will see now. Before that, I want to confirm by asking question. Prachi, are you there? Very good evening, Prachi. Prachi, can you hear me? See, I generally don't give lectures on something, but this is something I would like to talk with you people. Whole last year, every day, as a teacher, as a student, we must have thought. We must have thought that सिचुएशन विल इम्प्रूव और सब ठीक हो जाएगा और अब हम ऑफलाइन पढ़ने वाले, क्योंकि ऑनलाइन पढ़ने में मजा नहीं आता है. तो जब टीचर्स पढ़ा रहे थे, टीचर्स वर आल्सो नोविस बिकॉज वी आल्सो नीड टू लर्न सम मेथड. जो इतने सालों की आदत है ऑफलाइन पढ़ाने की, उसको हमने ऑनलाइन में कन्वर्ट किया. डू यू पीपल हैव एनी होप दिस ईयर कि अब सब कुछ बदल जाएगा एंड एवरीथिंग विल बी ऑफलाइन? कैन एनीवन गिव मी एनी डेट कि ऐसा होने वाला है? हाँ, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर होपिंग दैट अभी हम ऑनलाइन ना पढ़े तो चलेगा, आफ्टर सम टाइम इट विल बी ऑफलाइन अगेन? वी स्टिल डोंट
मैम 6 months तक तो पॉसिबल नहीं है सिचुएशन को देखते हुए.
तो अब हमें क्या करनी चाहिए?
ऑनलाइन की आदत डालनी चाहिए.
डाल लेनी चाहिए, है ना? क्योंकि देखो
12th में रिस्क नहीं लेना है.
हाँ, क्योंकि इस साल अभी भी 12th की एग्जाम कैंसिल नहीं हुई है. इस साल अभी भी 12th की एग्जाम कैंसिल नहीं हुई. तो आई रिक्वेस्ट, आई नो दैट आपको बहुत लोड पड़ता है. सुबह स्कूल की क्लासेस अटेंड करो, शाम को ट्यूशन की क्लासेस अटेंड करो. ट्रस्ट मी, हम भी बहुत खराब लाइफ जी रहे हैं विदाउट गोइंग टू स्कूल. और स्कूल में जाने का मन नहीं करता. यू विल नॉट बिलीव, ऐसा लगता है कि वीरानी हवेली है, भूत बंगला है वो. क्योंकि स्कूल बच्चों से होता है बेटा, वो काटने को डरता है सन्नाटा, खाली स्कूल. तो ट्रस्ट मी, ऑल ऑफ यू नीड टू बी अटेंटिव. अगर क्लास में आपका नाम दिख रहा है, दैट मीन्स यू नीड टू बी देयर एंड यू नीड टू इंटरैक्ट. अदरवाइज मैं पढ़ाती जाऊंगी, आफ्टर 6 months यू विल सी, 7 months यू विल सी कि अरे बाबा इतना सिलेबस हो गया and you don't know anything. So I request humbly to all of you to be attentive. Prachi, still I cannot hear anything from your side. Are you there or only your name is there, beta? No problem if you are answering wrong. Nothing wrong in answering wrong. At least by answering wrong, you will come to know that you are wrong. Anyways, choice is up to you. All of you are grown up children. अभी आप बहुत छोटे तो नहीं हो. Siddhant, can you tell me the answer I asked you? Who is going to talk? I asked that we were talking about the fertilization procedure and the stages of development, isn't it? So I asked that like during the stages of development, zygote is finally converted into child, isn't it?
Right.
Now this whole procedure is occurring inside the womb of mother, and female reproductive system is modified in a way to convert it, support the child. So obviously various events are mentioned over there and we are going to see them in detail. But can you tell me when I call a cell embryo, Siddhant, कब वो zygote से embryo बन जाता है?
जब बॉडी पार्ट्स डिस्टिंग्विश कर सकते हैं probably.
नहीं. Who is going to tell?
मैम जब वो यूनिसेल्युलर से मल्टीसेल्युलर हो जाता है तब.
जब उसमें 2 सेल्स होंगे.
हाँ, जैसे ही एक सेल से 2 सेल हो जाएगा, वैसे ही क्या हो जाएगा? The same moment the zygote will be converted into embryo. When then we can call it fetus? Jia, can you tell me when we can call embryo as a fetus?
मैम जब उसके पार्ट्स डिफरेंशिएट होना शुरू हो जाते हैं तब बॉडी पार्ट्स.
Jia, can you speak a bit loudly, beta?
मैम जब उसके बॉडी पार्ट्स डिफरेंशिएट
जब उसके बॉडी पार्ट्स ऑलमोस्ट एक्सटर्नली दिखने लगते हैं, we call it fetus. Very good, very good. So now without much delay, let us see the date wise events that is taking place. So I am clearing screen of this. Now let us see the event. We will write at the top that time, from fertilization. Okay, and the event. So let me tell you, 24 hours, by 24 hours, from one cell, that is zygote, it will be converted into two cells stage. And what is the cell division playing role here? Who is going to tell me? Dish, can you tell me which cell division is making one cell of zygote into two cells? Anyone?
Mitosis.
Very good, mitosis. Now, after 3 days, from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 8, this cell division is done. So, after 3 days, you can find out a 8 cell stage. This 8 cell stage is very important. It is known as morula. If you look into morula look like somewhat like a sphere or a football, which does not have any cavity or gap. It looks just like a spherical structure with a pile of cells. Morula doesn't have any gap, any cavity in between. All 8 cells are combined together to create a spherical structure. Till this time, there is no differentiation. So, morula up to morula stage, like there is no differentiation. This stage is very important, beta, because when we go for artificial fertilization, that is fertilization outside the human body, at 8 cell stage, the what I can say, at 8 cell stage, the embryo is getting implanted into mother's body. Okay, मतलब समझो, if in case any situation fertilization by natural means is not possible, sperm count कम होने की वजह से or any other reason, then what we can do is we can go for fertilization under microscope. Okay, by artificial means. In that case, ये 8 cell stage बहुत important रहता है, because at this stage the embryo can be inserted into the fallopian tubule of mother. Now, ये पूरी प्रोसीजर, पूरी सेल डिवीजन एक जगह खड़ा होके नहीं होता है बेटा. Cells will simultaneously divide and they will start moving towards uterus. Fallopian tubule से uterus की तरफ उसकी मूवमेंट जारी रहती है. ठीक है. At third stage, that is after 7 days, what will happen is there is formation of the third stage, that is blastocyst, और we can call morula से सिमिलर करने के लिए इस स्टेज को ब्लास्टुला भी बोला जाता है. So what is special about, by 7th day this blastula or blastocyst gets implanted to uterus. Okay, so it will be implanted into the uterus. Now, what is so special about this blastula or blastocyst stage? What happens, beta? I will share the diagrams also. I told you that morula stage is somewhat like a aggregate of spherical ball. Spherical ball-like structures aggregate to form a structure called morula. In case of blastula, you can see that there is a covering and a fluid filled cavity. This fluid filled cavity is called antrum, and our main part is pushed at one side. So blastula is having a covering and a fluid filled cavity which is called antrum, and the main nucleus or the main cells or the main part which is going to be developed into the fetus is pushed at one side. Now why it requires such kind of fluid filled cavity? Because beta, you must be knowing, have you studied evolution ever in your life? You know that life was first found, or I should not use the word found. Life was first produced in water only, and every organisms, even terrestrial organisms, after their what I can say, the zygote development occur in fluid medium only. कोई भी cases में dry नहीं होता है. Consider, let me tell you, even if any organism is oviparous. Oviparous matlab egg laying organisms, isn't it? Yesha, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oviparous organisms में egg के अंदर जो liquid रहता है, the organism present inside that only. And let me tell you, even in viviparous also, we are already, like every time the fetus is already sinking into a fluid, which is called amniotic fluid. So basically, every organism that is starting their life in aquatic medium. जब कोई child का birth होता है, after that it is coming out of the mother's womb and it is first time surviving in terrestrial condition. Understood? Yes or no? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's get.
तो उस टाइम तो breathing possible नहीं होगा ना?
No, they don't breathe directly. They don't breathe directly. Actually, the placenta and chorionic villi, they are connecting the child with the mother, and whatever exchange is required is through mother only. Their lungs are not active. I will tell you one example. जब बच्चा पैदा होता है, ये तो हम मूवी की वजह से सभी ये सीन जानते हैं. क्या होता है पहली बच्चा पैदा होते ही क्या करता है? कौन सी आवाज आती है सुनने में हमें?
रोता है.
क्यों रोता है? कभी पता है आपको why it cries? अगर वो रोए नहीं, बच्चे को ऐसे उल्टा लटकाया जाता है पैर पकड़ के और थप्पड़ मारी जाती है पीठ में, you know, because वो जो रोना है ना, रोना मतलब करके वो it is taking oxygen inside and its lung is expanding and it will start the breathing procedure. Understood? अगर वो ना करो तो प्रॉब्लम है, बच्चा नीला पड़ जाता है. If it is done for a long time, child can even die. And अब तो बहुत सारा मेथड है, उसमें ऑक्सीजन आर्टिफिशियली दिया जाता है. But if hospital is not well equipped or long time hypoxia रहने की वजह से ऑर्गेनिज्म अगर मतलब बच्चे को प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है, मल्टीपल ऑर्गन के सेल्स मर सकते हैं, इवन ब्रेन सेल्स कैन डाई. नॉर्मल चाइल्ड इन हाइपोक्सिया सिचुएशन कैन बी अ ब्लू बेबी और साइनोसिस, जिसका बहुत सारे इम्प्लीकेशंस होता है. ओके, so that's why you can understand कि inside mother's womb it is staying in a protective environment. एक बिल्कुल protective से environment के अंदर वो रहता है. Coming out means it will be there and it will come out after that. Okay, chalo, let us know further. Okay, so that is the event up to 7 cell day, and I told you that here it has a layer and one fluid filled cavity and the cell is pushed here. Now let me tell you, beta, differentiation start at this stage. The blastocyst level is the stage when differentiation is start. Have you ever heard about germ layers? I know that all of you know, but अब remember नहीं आ रहा है. Have you ever heard of the word called this? What I can say? Have you ever heard about the word called this one? What I can say? Triploblastic. Triploblastic.
Yes, ma'am.
What do we mean by the word triploblastic? Can anyone tell me?
3 germ layers.
So what are these germ layers?
Endoderm, ectoderm, and mesoderm.
So initiation of formation of these germ layers occur here. And we know that these are ectoderm from outside, then mesoderm and endoderm. Now from all these ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm, all our body different types of tissues are formed. For example, epithelial tissue rise from ectoderm. Okay. Our heart is formed from endoderm. Similarly, from mesoderm, the digestive system is formed. So various layers of these germ layers are responsible for formation of different types of tissues. Is it all right? Clear to everyone? Let's see what happens next. Okay. Now directly we go to 0.5 weeks. That means approximately how many days? 17 to 18 days के बाद. What is the next event that we can see? After this time, we can see the notochord is developed. The notochord and neural plate is formed. You know why we call एक question एकदम animal kingdom classification में पूछा जाता है कि why all vertebratas are chordata but all chordata are not vertebrata. Have you heard about this question? क्यों सारे chordata को हम vertebrata बोलते हैं? नहीं बोल सकते but vertebrata को chordata बोल सकते. Why?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
I asked that we know that vertebrata is a type of chordata, isn't it? So the question is why all chordata are not vertebrata, but all vertebrata are chordata. What is
because vertebrate's notochord is replaced by backbone.
Vertebral column. Very good. It is replaced by the vertebral column. So that means once upon a time we used to have notochord. So it shows, you know, like you will not believe child जब छोटा रहता है, that means when it is in the form of fetus, at the neck region it will have gill slit like structure, which shows that we also evolved from some of the aquatic organism. उसी से हमारी evolution हुई है, that is described by this. So notochord and neural plate is formed. Apart from that, development of heart. Initiates. हार्ट का डेवलपमेंट शुरू होता है एंड ब्लड सेल्स डेवलप from yolk sac and chorion. Now up to this part, ये नोटोकॉर्ड से लेके हार्ट वाला तो आप समझ गए हो. यहाँ आके एक क्वेश्चन मार्क बच्चों के दिमाग में आ जाता है कि ये क्या चीज है. ओके, we know that. Can you tell me where in normal situation all blood cells are produced in adult human being or in child also? What is the site for production of blood cells, that is RBC, WBC and platelets? ये सब कहाँ बनते हैं हमारे शरीर में? Where it is produced? Anyone, any idea? बोलो.
बोन मैरो.
बोन मैरो, वेरी गुड. बोन मैरो कहाँ है? Where is location of bone marrow? Anyone? Where does bone marrow locate? नाम से ही पता चलेगा ना. Why you are hesitating? Speak. Bone marrow कहाँ मिलता होगा? Inside bone. तो अब देखो, inside the bones. So now at this situation बेटा, अभी तक बच्चे का bones बनना चालू नहीं हुआ है. But blood cell is something which is required, no? So that's why जब तक bone बन नहीं जाता है, तब तक yolk sac और chorion बोल के दो parts होते हैं. Blood cells are developed from there only. Once there is ossification, that means formation of bone, then after that what happens is the blood cells will be formed from the bone marrow. Okay, by that time it will be formed from yolk sac and chorion. Let's start and talk about the next thing. It's about 3.5 weeks. What happens after 3.5 weeks? So after 3.5 weeks, basically neural tube. What is neural tube? We know we have a spinal cord. What is spinal cord? Have you heard about this word, spinal cord?
Yes, ma'am.
So spinal cord is the extension of brain, है ना? Brain से नीचे, this is the structure of the brain. इसके नीचे एक ऐसी लंबी सी thread-like structure रहता है, that is called spinal cord. It is present inside the vertebral column, है ना? तो अब तक vertebral column तो बना नहीं है. There is formation of neural tube inside which the spinal cord will be there. So neural tube is developed. Eye, बच्चे का आई डेवलप हो जाता है, ईयर डेवलप हो जाता है. देन एज आई सेड दैट pharyngeal, let me write it properly so that you can see. Pharyngeal, pharyngeal pouch is developed, liver is developed, then respiratory system is developed, apart from that thyroid gland is developed, and you know the highlight of this, इस उम्र में सबसे पहले एंडोस्कोपी की जाती है. After 3.5 weeks, there is a word called endoscopy. सो एंडोस्कोपी में क्या क्यों किया जाता है? बिकॉज द हार्ट ऑफ चाइल्ड स्टार्ट टू बीट, बच्चे का हार्ट बीट स्टार्ट हो जाता है। हर एक मॉम या डैड आजकल ये करता है। फॉर चाइल्ड वी कैन नॉट गो फॉर एक्सरे और अदर थिंग्स बिकॉज इट मे बी causing damage to the DNA of the child, but sound से we throw the sound wave to identify the imaging. It is also called echocardiography or endoscopy, through which the movement of the child or heartbeat of the child can be monitored. Okay, so 3.5 week now the heart of child is fully developed and it will start to beat. Clear to everyone? Yes, no sound.
Yes, ma'am.
है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's move to the next stage. That is, again I will put the heading. And second is events. Okay, so here I am talking about 4 weeks now. So we are talking about the event after 4 weeks. Here the limb buds will मतलब उसके जो लिम्ब आने की शुरुआत है, देयर विल बी at initial stage it will have shape like this और छोटे छोटे ऐसे बड्स जैसे स्ट्रक्चर दिखेंगे. It will not have fully developed limb. So these are called limb buds. So this limb buds development is observed at the end of 4 week, and the 3 vesicles of brain is developed. Okay, let us see what will occur next. Now we will directly go to the 2-month stage. Okay, now during this time muscle is developed. धीरे धीरे मसल डेवलप होना चालू कर रहा है and gonads are getting developed. Okay, now bones, when a child is young or when it is present in the fetal stage beta, उसके जो bones होते हैं ना, they are cartilaginous. Cartilage कैसा होता है? Where in our body we have cartilage? श्यामा, can you tell me? हमारे बॉडी में कौन से पार्ट में कार्टिलेज रहता है? मिश्का, कैन यू टेल मी कार्टिलेज कहाँ रहता है?
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, beta, you can.
Ma'am, nose dip and ear pinna.
हाँ, ये देखो ear. It is cartilaginous bone. That's why it is flexible and we can bend it. But if it is thicker, we cannot bend it up to a certain extent. उसके बाद वो टूट जाएगा हड्डी, isn't it? So initially, during the initial stages of development, the child's bones are mainly cartilage. Now the bones will ossify. Ossify बनना मतलब उसके ऊपर कैल्शियम डिपोजिशन वो होके it will start to be a hard bone. Okay. Now, by this time, nervous system is developed.
मैम कैल्शियम कहाँ से आएगा? मदर से?
Mother say everything. I told you first day only, no? Child is a parasite to mother. सब कुछ उसको, इसीलिए तभी तो बेटा मदर को इतना अच्छे से क्यों खिलाया जाता है? बेसिकली वो दो इंसानों के लिए खाता है बेटा. Understood? So iska circulatory system is developed. Actually what happens beta, consider a situation if a mother is not getting nutrition properly, then what happens is obviously certain things are required by the child. Okay, but a mother is not getting nutrition. So what will happen? That those gap of nutrition will be present in child also. Here, one thing I have noticed, I must say, I don't know, it's something related to food habit, but as a biologist, we can be free and frank, we can talk. But in pregnancy, 1,000 things are given to pregnant women here, except one thing that is called protein. उसके तरफ ध्यान ही नहीं जाता है किसी का. क्या खाओगे? खाने में क्या खाओगे? दूध खाओगे? तुम बहुत सारा घी खाओगे. You know that every part of our body require protein. Hemoglobin protein है, ठीक है. For construction of DNA you require protein. हमारे बॉडी में जितनी भी सेल ऑर्गेनेल्स है उनकी कवरिंग इज प्रोटीन. ओके, जितनी एंजाइम्स है they are protein. The cell membrane itself is a protein. So you can understand that how important protein is, isn't it? तो ऐसे सिचुएशन में a mother should have minimum amount of protein, नहीं तो आगे चल के बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं. So basically the food habit of mother is really important. A mother should have a balanced diet of protein, carbohydrate and fat. Three of the things are required for the mother to eat. So if mother is not taking proper diet, it is reflected into the growth of the child. Okay. So by this time, it is everything is developed. So you know, in our country there is a like rule about abortion. What do you think about abortion? Have you ever heard about this word abortion in life?
Yes, ma'am.
Yesha, what is abortion? Kashish?
Child is killed in
the womb
mother
of mother. So you can understand there is a timing. They prefer that you do it in the first month only. Okay, and before at least like why this is required, not only the humanitarian ground beta, we need to understand that as soon as the embryo is turning into fetus, it will be connected with the mother via umbilical cord. I am coming to that part. I will definitely discuss. Okay, mother ki jo the uterus is there, that part and the child, the embryo part will get connected via something. A part of it is called placenta, and the child side it is called chorionic villi, and the connection every day is getting more intricate. If you are removing that connection suddenly after some time, the child too cannot survive. That is to be understood, and the people who are going for abortion doesn't bother even if the child is living or not. But obviously it will be having effect on mother also. So obviously after some time, even if you know that there is some complication, unless and until this is a medical emergency, abortion is not prescribed. Okay, let us move ahead. Okay, today's time is almost over. Do you want me to continue, or we can continue tomorrow? What do you suggest? Because it is almost.
No, ma'am.
I think we can continue tomorrow. I will share the lecture to sir. now only, so that he can upload, and I will ask him, request him to upload yesterday's lecture also. Okay, go through it, and if any doubt you have, we can talk tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta. Bye to all of you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Bye.